Awesome. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, panelists. Good day, and welcome to those in the audience. I'm Mikey with two E's. I'm also known as Metro Mikey. The two E's in my name stand for the environment and everyone. Those are the two things that I care about most. If you're watching this live, please put your name and where you're tuning in from in the chat, and definitely ask questions or comment whenever you think of something. I am a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania business and sustainability coach, a sustainable salon owner, and a hairstylist specializing in eco-friendly platinum and blonding services. I'm your host and MC of Green Beauty Community Meetups, but I'm always honored to be here with my fellow founders, mentors, admins, and guests who I'll introduce now. So first up, we have our friend Hannah, the founder of Salon Environment, where they create curated, sustainable educational resources for beauty professionals and salons, as well as retailing their own line of plant fiber lashes. Great for Earth Month. We have our esteemed colleague, Jacqueline, founder of Green Beauty Community and salon owner and hostess of the Salon Owners Holistic Blueprint podcast, diving into all of the wellness resources for salon sustainability and eco-consciousness. We have today our special guest, Lisa Van, award-winning international artist and global ambassador for Insight Professional. We have Brian, the general manager for Insight Professional North America. And we have April Abbott, the director of salon development at CanvasMe, which is renowned as the LinkedIn for the beauty industry. We're also joined by Daniel Johnson, founder of Green Beauty Community and owner of the Salon Chair Guys, an affordable salon equipment repair business, and everyone's favorite salon cleaners. So our mission today and every day is to make the planet a better place through innovative yet sustainable practices. And we're going to have a segment featuring Insight Professional with Lisa and Brian, and we'll hear a check-in from CanvasMe's representative, April. So first and foremost, I am going to welcome Lisa Van, our esteemed guest and Insight Global Ambassador, to the floor. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us what's going on for Earth Month and maybe even what's going in the background.
So, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in with us today. We're so excited to be here. It was funny. Brian and I actually were in Italy doing a big event for Insight just a week and a half ago. So, coming back to Earth Month, literally the day I got back, and my team had already had their cutathon set up, their missions for the month set up. And one of the things that is going on right now, it happened to be we weren't checking calendars, but our Earth Month event is happening the same day I was doing our Green Beauty Live event. So that's behind us here. So they're working with guests today. And one of the things that I think was so important with our team that we do it year round for the last probably 30 years. So when we think of Earth Month, we think of what are we going to do this month to really support Earth Month. And what we did this year is we just highlighted on our 15 mirrors what we already do. So there's little kind of like vinyls up that just tell what we do from fashion for conservation to sustainable beauty to green beauty collation to every single thing our salon does with Vish, with Insight. Everything we do, we have it posted for our guests to see. We thought instead of doing one thing, we're just going to highlight every single thing we do because every year we think of something and then all of a sudden it's like, we're already doing that. And if there was something we weren't doing, we would do it. So I think that's one of the highlights of who we are. It was just kind of being creative this year on how we can eliminate using raffle tickets or using pledge forms. So we've gotten sustainable with just doing actually everything electronically. And with our pledge forms, we had 2 sheets like in laminated so people can just fill them out. We take a photo, we put it within their file on the computer, and then we wipe it off for the next one. So everybody's been really excited about it. And our team has been hyping up Earth Month and community outreach and sustainability for probably since Christmas. I think we've been talking about, what are we going to do and how we're going to do it. And I think it's exciting to see that next generation hairdresser be so excited about just who we are as a green salon, a sustainable salon. So that's what's happening back there. For me, I've just been really excited about, from Canvas Me, with our apprenticeship program, with all the things we're doing with Insight, with all the recognition from NAHA Inspiring Salon of the Year to I just got another nomination for American Life for a collection that I did, and putting my work out there. It's exciting that we're getting so much recognition. The last collection that I've done, which is working with sustainable fabrics. So we're always working with designers that are part of Fashion for Conservation that only use sustainable materials to make their garments. We're up in 40 different countries in probably over 120 publications for the last collection. So what's exciting is that that little bit of kind of constantly being consistent with what we do as a brand, as Van Studio, is being recognized everywhere, all over the world. So that's exciting. And then being able to use a sustainable designer in Italy and do a show with Insight was another big highlight of my career this year too. So those images in that show haven't really, there's been sneak peeks, but I know they're holding on to it to some big launches. So having a sustainable line that I've continually working with is really exciting as well. So there's so many things that I'm doing. I don't even know. I'm going to let other people talk, but I'm telling you, I think the biggest thing that I would love to address here is this next generation. How are we keeping them engaged? How are we keeping them excited? When it comes down to building our industry up and having it be a sustainable industry for the next 100+ years, how am I doing that with this next generation hairdresser? How do you get every member of your team to show up to do a haircut day that's just really exciting about talking about the environment and how they're going to be better and what they're going to do, I think is important as well. So that's kind of what I think I found a little like niche in the system of what really keeps our next generation hairdresser excited about green beauty and sustainability. And I can't wait to share and kind of get that out there.
Lisa, that is amazing and almost a perfect segue into a question that I had for you. Concerning, the newer generation or people entering this industry for the first time, I try to, kind of vibe with them as well, if you will. And I get a lot of compliments on like my setup here in my broadcast studio, which I'm always so proud to say, like, yes, it's a little bit hip, maybe a little bit cool, but it's also powered by sustainable energy because that means a lot to me. So for those people who are entering the industry now or graduating from a cosmetology program at a Votech or a tech school, it's sometimes good to hear why we got into sustainability in the beauty industry. So do you remember at what point in your journey where that was? Was it right at the beginning? Did it happen a little bit later? And how did that prompt you to then utilize that in your salon as a strategy?
When I walked into this salon that I currently own now, I was 19, and I only knew sustainable beauty through Aveda. So Horst Reckelbacher was the founder of Aveda, and at that time in the early 80s, we had 5 shampoos and 3 style products. And what happened with that is I was so passionate about working with textured hair. I was working in a salon called Elsie's Great Looks for Guys and Dolls, and it primarily worked on Afro textured hair. So when I left Elsie's and was married at 18 and we relocated to Seattle, I walked into this salon that I currently own now, and I only knew how to do textured hair, perming hair. I had to perm everybody's hair so I could cut it because I only knew how to do highly textured hair. And Horst, he had 5 shampoos and 3 style products, but he also made a self-timing perm. So he loved the idea that I was perming every client that sat in my chair. Because when you cut hair textured, it can be like that and you could still make it look even. So it didn't matter who you were, I would throw on a perm. And so with that being said, he just really embraced me into the Aveda culture. And with that, there was only one, that was all I knew at 19, 20 years old was sustainable products and working with Earth Month and working with giving back to the environment as what we were taking away. So that has been our culture since the early 80s when I came into doing hair. And so that's how I started with it, is that was all I knew. So I only knew a lifestyle of how we did things within our salon.
Well, and luckily for everyone in your apprentice program, you can shine the light for them to, be productive members of our green beauty community uh, now and in the future, and hopefully, um, turn people into other sustainable salon owners throughout your journey. So that's awesome. But that. I think I have a game plan here for this webinar. We kind of just go with the flow, but I'm going to go over to April, who is a little bit a part of that apprentice program for people who are breaking into this industry now and trying to find a sustainable place, where they want to be or might fit in. So, April, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do with Canvas Me, your sustainable missions for Earth Month, and how you tie in with Lisa.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for having me here. So, I'm April. I've been in the beauty industry all my life. I grew up with a family beauty salon. So, I've had many perms to piggyback on what Lisa had said throughout my life. But basically, with Canvas Me, we are basically like the LinkedIn of the beauty industry. We're a platform where we're all about finding your place of belonging. So, we give students and professionals free canvases, digital canvases, where they can create their portfolio that highlights their work, their why. We go through a whole process with them of really kind of putting themselves out there and speaking to what really is their true values, allowing them to attract the right opportunities to them. So we're all about connecting people. And what I love with partnering with Lisa and Brian is, they're really showcasing an opportunity on Canvas Me where they get to join a company that is all about sustainability. And that we know is a big, big value for this next generation. They are looking for sustainable salons. And, Canvas Me is such a great platform for businesses and professionals to really start to attract the right people by promoting that they do these things. So often I'm having conversations with salons. It's like, make sure that you're really marketing that you do these specific things for the environment and what your values are and what's really important to your salon, because that's who you're going to attract the right employees to want to come work for you. So also with Canvas Me, everything's digital. So there's no more printing of resumes. So we're saving on paper. You also don't have to travel, right? So if you're going to go to career fairs and things like that, you can do this all from your desktop. So as a business, you can proactively recruit, which is really cool because we do partner with schools all across the country where we're teaching them to create these beautiful digital portfolios. So imagine just being behind your screen and you're actually proactively recruiting on a platform, which is really cool. And you can search by badges. So you could search for people who have, the sustainability or products or brands that you really would like to, have join your team.
That is amazing, April. Thank you for being a part of that and sharing with us. And just a little Earth Month tip while we're doing all of those, things on our mobile devices or our desktop. If we're in dark mode, it actually saves about 30% of our battery, meaning we can charge our phone less or charge our laptop less, or our desktop won't be draining as much powerful, whether it's sustainably sourced or not. So we're just saving the environment one application or portfolio at a time.
I love that.
And you were mentioning, you gave me a great segue, so I'm just going to take it and run with it. You mentioned finding salons with products and brands that really align with our missions, visions, values, and core ethos. So that gives me a perfect way to introduce one of my dear friends that I met a long time ago in a digital format called Clubhouse, because we're dinosaurs. But my friend Brian, who is the general manager for Insight Professional North America. Brian, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about why you chose Insight. As we all know, I use Insight in my own salon. It is an amazing brand and really aligned with my mission, vision, and values. So I'm so excited to welcome you to our webinar and give you the floor. Oh,
Brian,
as
we can't hear you.
always, we have some technical difficulties, so I believe we need some audio from you, Brian. Yep, we're holding. It happens every single webinar, so sometimes it's better to get it out early instead of late.
How's it working now? Okay.
We can hear you now.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I log out and log back in. I'm hoping my connection is strong enough. Thank you, pleasure, Dan and Daniel. Back to when we were on Clubhouse, back 2021. That's where we first met. And back then it was going to happen, how we were going to get through this. And for me, it was very enlightening to have you guys be part of that Clubhouse, the Greenhouse Beauty community, just for your passion. And from us, from my perspective, I thought, well, you know, if there's this many people in the salon industry behind this movement, then sky's the limit. Going back 5 years ago, I came across a brand when I was working at Cosmoprof. And through that brand, I saw two young ladies that were from Italy. And when I saw the brand, and I thought, well, gee, this has a very interesting look to it. Kind of earthy, but kind of Davines, kind of Aveda look. And the ladies were very pleasant, and they laughed and chuckled. And they said, we're getting a lot of that over here. We're a brand that's been around for, at that time, 5 years. But over here, we're fairly new. They were in 60 countries. And they chuckled. They said, we're very, very pleased to be here, and we see it's important to be part of the movement. So I stayed in connection with them, going back, and then help them develop their model for the US. And then COVID hit, obviously. And so how did we come to market? How were we going to go to market? So the whole concept of going to market was through a digital platform similar to April. And, you know, everything we do is digital. All of our sales are digital, all of our connections digital. We've just started to do live in-person events. Lisa being our one of our main people to help get that going. And, you know, we're going to be in Premier Orlando with Salon. Very excited to be part of that. So, you know, the whole concept is the industry needs a very strong message from manufacturers. One, that they are dedicated to cutting down their carbon footprint. One, that they're focused on finding solutions that are not just marketing tools, but they are firmly built around proving that they have cut down carbon emissions. And Insight, being a manufacturer that's been in this world for 5 years as a brand, manufacturer, they've, and we are delivering that over here in North America. So we're excited to partner with Canvas Me, salons like Lisa and her team through the Green Beauty community. I can't say enough for what you guys have been doing, especially over the last 8 to 9 months. And when it's one of the fastest growing communities, I'm excited to see that. But, you know, from our partners, we think that sustainability is going to be just a niche in the marketplace over the next couple of years. We think it's going to be the brands. And one of the major things you'll see, I think, from that is cutting back packaging and how we can get away from plastics and how we can move into cutting down our collective carbon footprint. And I think with Insight coming over from Italy and being in the EU and introducing it to this marketplace, we're in a great position to do that, and through collaborations with groups like yours.
Thank you so much, Brian. That was great. And one of the reasons that I personally chose Insight as a brand to carry in my salon is you touched on it, the carbon neutrality. So I'm big on looking at my climate shadow, and that is all the different ways that my actions can impact the ecosystems at large. And so Insight, while I have many great eco-friendly and sustainable options in my salon, Insight is the one that is the closest for me to a net zero climate shadow. So I am always so proud to use that in my salon. But you gave me a great tie-in. I'm going to go back to Lisa here and ask you, how did you get involved with Insight, and what was your draw? What inspired passion towards that brand for you?
I think for me, one of the biggest things is professional products, color, perm, smoothers, relaxers, because we're a professional industry and a professional salon. And a lot of companies have stopped creating products that are sustainable, that are perm relaxers or smoothers. And that's something that I really find passion in, especially with diversifying my clientele. And I think that for me, I really needed to find a product that was a professional texture product that I could offer to clients that had multi-textured hair. And I do feel like that.
Oh no.
All right, I think Lisa will be joining us in just another second here. Sometimes we have multiple rounds of technological difficulties, and you know what? It's 2024. We just roll with it. So until Lisa, oh,
Important. Did I cut out for a minute?
yeah, we lost you for a second there, but just keep on going.
So
Don't worry about it.
I really feel like it's the professional products that stylists get to use behind.
The
Oh
connection
no.
is trying so hard. I can hear it.
It's a little engine that could.
All right, so I have a feeling as soon as I say this, Lisa will be back again. But Brian, why don't you tell us a few of the things coming down the pike for Insight and their professional line?
Absolutely. So when we were over in Italy, what happens in Italy on March is Cosmoprof, which is the largest B2B show in the world. And when we went over in March, it was basically to map out what's going to happen over the next 12 months. And the most exciting part to that, and Lisa was a part of it, and I'll let her come in as soon as I finish here. We're moving away from plastic. At the end of 2024, we're closer to September, we will be a plastic-free company. We're moving away from plastics into glass and aluminum, and that'll be launched in North America, likely in the new year. We are also launching in the new year a new color line, which is in between a demi and a permanent, but more of a demi, and that again will be in glass packaging, and that's exciting because we're going for training in July for that. Lisa's team and some of our education team will be involved, and that will, where that goes and how that kind of brings her headed. I think we'll be one of the most unique brands in the marketplace that is chosen to move away from plastic. And we've done a lot of research on why we're moving away from plastic. There are companies and a lot of the industry will tell you that, using different types of plastic work. We use a PET plastic now. But at the end of the day, we all know that, or most of us know, is that glass and aluminum are the best answers. And we are focused on that. And we have experience in that field with other brands so we know that it can work. And we're excited to see where that will take us. And with that said, I think Lisa's back. So
yeah, I am back. I think that was it, is finding with the company I was currently with, they gotten rid of all of their perm, smoothers, relaxers, professional texture products. And that was my passion. And that was what I saw in my salon. We do a lot of textured hair. And I think that was something that I wanted to find a product line that was equal, if not better, than what I already had. and I needed something that was going to be sustainable. There were so many layers. I mean, if you think about, if you make a list of what you want, I mean, I think that was one of the things that Horst did when we decided to do a color line with Aveda, was we wrote a wish list. And that has me, every time I think about a big change, is make a wish list. Everything and anything that you could want in a product line, and just write it all down, and you put it on your mood board, or you put it in your thoughts, and you sit there and you look at it every single day, and you keep looking for the right product until you find it. And there was so many factors that I wanted in a texture line before I committed to changing to Insight, because that is something that we can't just pick and choose who walks in our door and what they want with their hair. I mean, not everybody wants to have long, straight blonde hair. So if we have a nice texture product, or we want to create texture, we want to tame texture, that you need to have a sustainable line. So when I talk to salons, it isn't about hair color and retail product. It's about all the professional products that you need to be a really sustainable, doable, professional salon. You can't just say you don't do something. You can't, I don't do smoothers, or I don't do relaxers, or I don't do perms. You really have to look out there and find the right products that falls in line with what you do, and be sustainable, but also be able to be inclusive to all clients that call in and walk in the door. And I think that's the most important thing, is stick to your guns, stick with what you do, but you also have to be able to be inclusive to everyone. You cannot pick and choose who's going to call in and get that service done, because you want to be able to take care of everybody. And I think that's where Insight came in. It was able to work on all types of hair, no matter who called in, and it had a professional line that really stayed within my mission, and it checked all the boxes on my wish list of what I wanted in a texture line. And then some.
Yes, that is awesome. I want to hear about that and then some, but I did have to tell a lot of my clients at kind of towards the start of my career, that I am not comfortable using some of these non-sustainable, high toxicity texture products. So that's actually a service that I had eliminated, from my salon, because I couldn't sleep at night. So it's great to hear that as we get these wish lists, these mood and dream boards together, what gives me hope, and for anyone new to the industry tuning into this, what really gives me hope is, at the beginning of my career, we did not have all the options. And every time somebody built a wish list, there was a brand, a manufacturer, or a company, or somebody with passion who took all of those wishes and put them into, a great sustainable packaging, or an even better new and renewed sustainable packaging, like the company Insight. So things are getting better, even though we can hear a lot of doom and gloom out there. And we at the Green Beauty community are here to spread that positivity and help you along the way. So Lisa, let me just go ahead and ask you, if there was a second thing that you loved about Insight, what is that? And what are you excited for about Insight in the near future?
Well, like Brian said, the packaging is a big game changer. I have been in this industry 40 years, and I've yet to hear a company that's doing it to the level they're doing it, where everything from the color, they have a full professional line, but they're also thinking about packaging. And that was one of the reasons why some companies stopped making the professional texture line, is because of all the components it takes and the cost. And I think that we have to be willing to say, we're willing to pay a little bit more to have a sustainable product that's really working well with all of our guests. So I am not one that says that we're not going to pay for it if it means that we can be inclusive to all guests that come in the door, and it's a sustainable product. So professionally, it hit all the boxes there. Going to Italy and working with the team, and I actually got a tour of the facility, and this company is not skimming. Like, if you have a sustainable product and you filtering out the water waste from your sustainability, and you're skimming the scum off the top of the water before you even filter the water out into the environment, who does that? Like, It was
That's
really
awesome.
funny how they're even testing their water, even though they know it's sustainable, but they're testing it down to purifying their water before it goes out into the environment. So those are things that, I didn't even know existed when it comes to product manufacturing. And so that was a big deal. The excitement that it has to tell a new story. I think that when you think about young generation, next generation hairdressers, what we find is one of our non-negotiables is they have to sit down face to face and have a conversation with their guests before they even start the service. And one of the things that we do there is we talk about who we are as a salon, what products we use, the art gallery that's up, how our service is going to go, how Green Circle is, how every single thing that we do, we have a face-to-face consultation. So they actually know what's going to happen in their whole experience. And we're a non-tipping salon. And so that generates the conversation of our Green Circle fees and all the other fees that come along with being sustainable, the little bit higher cost of products, the actual education that we give to our new clients. And we ask for a great review. If you love your service versus a tip, give us a great review. And I find that acknowledgement, that ability for a young hairdresser to tell a story every time they're with a guest, to tell a story about what they're doing to make a change, to talk about who we are as a company, that kind of brag ability is really exciting for them. And also, it's not a day that goes by that one of my newer talents doesn't show me a great review. They love to read about how great they're doing. And I'm telling you, versus a $5 tip or a $10 tip, a great review goes a long way. And I think that that's important, is teaching them that they are professionals that are in an industry that can make a big difference. And by using a sustainable product line and actually telling their story is what is keeping us with a 25 stylist wait list for those who want to come in. I mean, we had to build stations to get people in. And I think the thing is you got to change the culture a bit, because you're missing the boat if you don't think they want to talk about all the great things you're doing as a salon. And if you don't think that they want a great review and maybe start talking about being a professional hairdresser and what that looks like, I think this is where we need to go with the next generation. So Insight kind of gives us the talking points to go back to. That's it. There's so many great talking points that we can do with a great product line that not only is really doing things that deliver in a technical standpoint, but also doing bigger things globally. And I think the global part is big too.
And this is amazing, but twice now you've mentioned connection, which is something that I don't always think people uh, uh, put together when it comes to sustainability. But as we've seen since 2020, and as things become more digital and technological, that connection, being able to sit down and have a consult, face to face, like that is more important now for sustainability than ever before, whether it's for the actual ecosystem or our mental health and
Yeah, I
societal
agree.
health. But I'm going to connect Daniel into this conversation because I believe he has a great question for you.
Oh, for
Hi.
me.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate you being here. We're honored to be in your presence and to have access to all of the knowledge that you have. Brian as well. Thank you for being here. Lisa, I hear a lot, and even on our surveys on the Green Beauty community, um, the pain point for a lot of salons that are wanting to go sustainable is they're worried about cost and how to like integrate that into their marketing. So being more sustainable becomes part of their salon ethos and it becomes a part of who they are. What would you recommend to a new salon who is just getting started and maybe afraid to take the jump, but are committed to giving it a shot? And you've already touched on a lot of the important things as far as your stylist and your talent and making sure you encourage them and you're educating them. But what would you say to a newbie salon who's just now getting started and they want to adopt practices, but they are afraid that it's going to honestly maybe hurt their bottom line?
I think that was kind of my first thing was, oh no, how much is this going to cost me? And I think that's it. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And that's a fear that you don't really have to take in account. I mean, it stuck in my head for about a minute and then it went away because your guests are your raving fans. I mean, the thing of it is, you have to trust that the people that are calling and making appointments, and the people that are showing up at your door, and the people that are on a wait list to get in are your raving fans. And if you are a small boutique salon like mine, there is nobody better than those raving fans that supported me through the pandemic, through the economy crash in 2008. There is nobody that has my back more than those guests that come in every single day to get their hair done. You have to trust that you have built that connection with your community, with your team, and every single guest that sits in the chair, because those people are the ones that support your small company, and they're the ones that want you to succeed. And you know what? If you can't figure out a way to do it, they'll do it for you. My guests, during the pandemic, there wasn't a day I didn't show up here every single day manning the phones. I was here. In fact, if I wasn't here by 9, the mailman was saying, "You're late. Where are you?" I was picking up the phone. I was making that connection. I was making sure, they were more worried about me than I was about, like, I was like, I'm here for you. I want to make sure you're going to get in when we open back up. So I think that you have to trust that you are building something that there's nowhere else that anyone can touch a person in a way that we do and make a life changing service for them, that they walk out feeling better than they did when they came in. And do they want to see you fail? Absolutely not. So you have to trust that that community that you're in, the people that you see every single day are your raving fans, and they're going to do everything they can to see whatever your vision is through that's going to be better for not only them, but also everybody that works with you and everybody that is in our community. And then you kind of go to your city and then it just grows from there. So I would trust your gut and know that you are building something that changes lives, and you've got to trust in the people that are walking in that door, and they're gonna give the mess. The thing that I think people miss is that conversation. If you're not giving them the story, then they don't know. If you're afraid to tell them your prices are increasing because of this, and you don't tell them the story, the why, always tell them the why, and they'll have your back. You can't slip things in and you can't be afraid of it, but there always got to be a why. And if it's in your heart and you're doing it for the best, they'll support you. There's no reason why they wouldn't. That's kind of my feeling. It's that raving fan, look for them and they've got your back.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, as the kids say, girl, you are cooking. So I appreciate it. That was really good. That was my question. I guess I pass it on if anyone else in the community, the other co-founders, have a question.
I don't have a question so much as just a thank you for saying that, because that's what's been on my heart for a long time too, is just seeing that it is so possible and we can create these beautiful environments that build our clients, build our stylists, and build us as salon owners to do something bigger and better than just having a salon. Like, I really believe in our industry and in the power that we have as salon leaders to really steer that ship to where we want it to go, and that it doesn't have to be so scary. And seeing somebody of your caliber like that and being able to say that that's what you believe in and that's what's worked for you, it's just great to hear. So thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So actually, I wanted to kind of just bring all of our guests in on this to answer this question. Is Canvas Me, Insight, and the Lisa Van are all, you guys are working together to really just sort of move this industry in such a monumental way. Because like you said, sustainable practices, they're here to stay. It's no longer a niche conversation. And we were very impressed to hear that you guys are partnering up and working together to, again, create such movement in this industry. Tell us a little bit about what you guys want to accomplish together.
Good one.
Yeah. I'm going to let Brian answer that because
Brian, you might be still on mute.
Worth the wait.
Always.
You're still muted.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
jump in. I'll jump in on my end with Canvas Me. So when we had started our apprenticeship program, that was one of the first places that I looked, and I was really impressed on how they had. There was 100 people, I think, on a list of applicants that I could go through of who wanted to be the next apprentice in Washington State. And I love the way the applicants were set up, the videos were set up, their aspirations of who they want to be and what type of salon they want to come in. So that's a given. Now actually looking for a team that really can come in with me and really go out and really educate. It's another great, I'm using Canvas Me in so many ways, and it's another great way of being able to put our information out there that we can get people to connect with us that want to be the next educator, that want to be the next global ambassador, and be a part of something that delivers a message. And I think that that's something we haven't had in a really long time in our industry, is that middle piece that connects us together. And I do think that that is something that I love about utilizing it in finding the next new apprentice for my program, and also the next new global ambassador for Insight. And I've looked at many resumes now, and really, I love the videos. I think they're great. And I think it's a great way to really see the heart of that next, global educator, and also see the heart of that, next hairdresser that really wants to come into this industry, that doesn't even know what they're, the videos are so extreme, because we have people that are 10 years in that want to do what I'm doing, and then people that have never held a comb that are, have this like dream of who our industry is. So I love that aspect of all the details, and the kind of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And it's a great avenue for salon owners to look for a next stylist, also looking for another educator, and also apprentice that maybe just had a dream of maybe being a hairdresser. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for it.
Yeah. And just to kind of
I think I'm back.
Oh, you are back. Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry, yeah, I wanted to touch on that as well. When through COVID, we had to look at this industry differently. I think it in some ways, I don't think there was anything that quite affected us like COVID. It fractured a lot of things that we're used to seeing and doing. Historically, when you bring a brand to market, you would go through the traditional channel. And the traditional channel is obviously, as a manufacturer, you would engage distributors. They would pass the message on to the group or the salon and the suite movement. What we found through COVID is the industry changed overnight. 70% team-based environment to 70% suite and independent environment. The distributors were finding it challenging to be the consultants they used to be, because there was less big salons for them to follow. So we had to find partners that were still able to reach everyone. And obviously Canvas Me is one of those mediums, because they have the ability to not only reach stylists, but also in salons. And this whole movement of independent, engaged people to become more faster growing. That was just like you could build a clientele faster. The whole process was faster, and digital mechanisms were put in place to really allow us to to partner with people that we felt could help spread our message. So part of our goal with Insight and Canvas Me is to build a team of stylists, educators, and business consultants. Historically, a stylist or an educator would help a brand by being an educator, then a consultant or a salesperson or a distributor would come in and service that client. We thought, why do you need to do that? Why can't you use an educator to be the business consultant? And they have a network under them. So even though we still believe in the distribution model, we just feel that the model that's the future is through pro affiliation, pro network, to build the same way as, let's say, a stylist can use a platform to sell hair products. Why can't they use this to tell their friends and to educate their friends and to be part of that movement? So this is one of the main reasons we work with Canvas Me, is because we feel the Canvas Me group has the best vehicle to deliver us and to work with us to find the right people that can fall under our umbrella. And one of the things that I spoke with Matt about right from the beginning, it was the commitment that the younger generation has to finding eco solutions. It's almost as powerful as building a network of a large client base or financial rewards. This generation is different. I mean, I still think I'm attached to it in some ways, as Lisa does, I'm sure. But we're seeing, what motivates someone today is a lot different than what motivated them when I started in the industry. And, I get it. I mean, when I started with Insight, one of the first things I did was go see Greta Thunberg, do a presentation in Montreal. Largest group of people I've ever been at, 500,000 people. There was not one of them under everyone was under 40, 20, there were school kids there, and they're all part of this. So this is their movement. And we know that this is a young generation of stylists, and it's a young industry. It's a gig industry. There's a lot more going on now than there was when I started, and going through the channels, apprenticeship and becoming paying in my dues. That's not to say that we don't need that, because I believe everybody needs a mentor. And I think, what we're offering is a combination of both. We have mentorship options with people, but we also have the option of being able to build a network of global ambassadors that can come from 6-7 years in the industry or less, that can fall into what we think can help lead. And the whole sales model is really built around them. We feel that we feel that network, young generational stylists and educators, are help us promote and sell this product. And that's important, and we think that's our future.
Well, and how amazing that truly, the three of you are mentors. So I love, Brian, that you mentioned that everyone does need a mentor. We all, we have all mentored each other. We have had so many mentors outside of this to be where we are now. But Canvas Me being a platform for mentorship, Brian, you especially have been a mentor to all. I know you've mentored all four of us here. And Lisa, especially, just the fact that you have this really incredible program to help, especially the younger generation along, and I'm sure people a little bit further along too. And, you guys kind of all hit the main areas of, in my opinion, kind of like the pain points. Like Insight is a great sustainable, clean and green line that is, great to support the industry and the stylists. Lisa, you being hands-on and especially April with Canvas Me. I mean, it really all kind of comes together like a really perfect puzzle, which is really great that you guys are, just moving this movement. I guess, yeah, moving this movement along.
Yeah. We do a lot of research, so we recognize that the generation has shifted a lot, and you'll often hear one of us say at Canvas Me, digital native is the new generation, where they blend the physical world and the digital world. And so basically, we're meeting them where they're at by giving them the option to create a portfolio to really promote themselves. And Lisa kept referring to videos, and I'm sure a couple of people were like, "What videos is she talking about?" So, with the Insight opportunity, we've asked them to share a video or, and any business or brand can do this. So basically, we're providing tools for both businesses and professionals to really showcase themselves because everything now is a video, right? We go into social media, it's a reel, no longer are static images kind of cutting it for everybody. So, that's one of the big things. And I love the fact that Insight has these incredible videos on their opportunities that applicants can view and get a glimpse as to what it is like to be a part of their team. And I just think that they're seeing such outstanding results from that because we're really giving them the tool to humanize who Insight is, right? So think of it in the terms of like, if you had no idea who they were, right? And you landed on an opportunity and you had a chance to see their social media page, video, images, a description that's not super long, right? Because we know everybody's attention span is super short now, but really getting to the point, but everything's in one place and no more researching. And we could connect to their website immediately. It makes it so easy for applicants to be like, I want to work for them. And this is why. And I'm going to make a digital portfolio with a video telling them why I want to join their team. And then right away, their team can review, saving them so much time. It's almost like cutting out that first interview just by viewing a portfolio. So, and again, it just goes back to like capturing that applicant's what they value, right? And Lisa and Brian's team can see right away, maybe are they a good fit or maybe they're not, right? So we're all about people finding their people, really is the gist of it. And we love partnering with brands like yours.
Thank you so much, April. Thanks for getting that conversation going, Hannah. And we have about like 7 or 8 minutes left. So I am going to start wrapping things up here, and I will unabashedly ask you all to plug yourselves and see where we can find you. But before I do that, I'm just going to start with Lisa and go to Brian and then April. And just a quick, in 5 sentences or less, is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
With me first, can you guys hear me? I was frozen for a minute.
You're good.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I said it all. I mean, I think that one thing that I can say is that I'm not going anywhere. I see myself another 20 years in this industry. And I do work. I think the best thing I can say about my team is I work 5 days a week right beside them. And I think being engaged, not only do we want our team to be connected to their guests and to each other, but you have to be really connected to them. And my office is generally right out in the middle of the floor, and I am right there from my newest apprentice to my 20-year hairdresser. I just moved my station back to where I was so I can see every guest in the salon throughout the day. And I think connection is the key to the future of our industry, is really being a part of what everybody's doing in your business and really stay connected in a positive way, making sure your message is being delivered the right way. Because I think that's what I do differently than a lot of salons, is I'm right in there with them working, 8 hours a day behind the chair. So I would say connection is our future, and staying connected to the products you're using, the companies that you're working with, the staff, and the guests.
Thanks, Lisa. I'm going to come back and get everyone's connections here just in a second. But Brian, is there anything that I should have asked you that I did not?
Can you hear me okay? I'm good. I'm
We can
still
hear
here.
you.
We got you.
Perfect. Mikey, you never not cover everything. So I'm just going to say one last thing with regards to digital and where we're at, sustainable, unsustainable. As much as we all embrace digital, embrace AI in this new world, the one thing I think this industry has, it's our connection with people. Because as long as people go and get their hair done, and as long as robotics don't get involved over that won't happen. Life, I can't see it happen in any one of your lifetime. We will always be a people-based industry. We'll always be a relationship-based industry. So we have the unique ability to to build our digital footprint and our digital AI alongside this relationship building process in the field of something around a service. So I think with that said, we have to constantly remind ourselves we are going to be leaders, I think, in this industry beyond digital footprint, beyond just the ability to change things and grow fast. Young generation, we're going to be able to move beyond that. So I think with that said, I'm hopeful as we continue to go forward to continually find new ideas, same time, work together with the human touch and the commitment to finding solutions.
Thank you so much, Brian. I'm going to pass it along to April. Is there anything that I should have asked that I didn't already think to?
I think the only thing I can think of is that if you were to ask me who should have a Canvas Me portfolio, I would tell you anybody who's in the industry. You could be a rep, you could be a student, you could be a professional, you could be a salon, a brand, really it encompasses the entire industry as a whole. And we're all about networking and making sure that you can have the opportunity to be seen and recruited by your digital portfolio, but also to use that portfolio to proactively reach out to new opportunities for yourself as well. And so we're just all about kind of giving people the ability to think way bigger than they ever imagined in the industry.
That is amazing, April. And now I'm just going to start with you in reverse order. Give me your shameless plugs. Where can we find you?
Okay.
And how can we connect?
Yes, you can find us on our social at Canvas Me. You can also find more information about building a portfolio if you're interested at canvasme.com. And you can reach me really anywhere on social as well. And at april.canvasme is my social handle, but you can find me on either one.
Thanks, April. Look forward to connecting more. Brian, where can we find you?
Well, I'm always close by, either through you, Mikey, through Daniel or Hannah and Jacqueline. No, seriously, through Insight Professional NA. That's the vehicle on our Instagram, Insight Professional NA. You just type us in Insight Professional North America, you'll find us. But we also encourage everyone to follow all of our platform artists, our global ambassador. I'm encouraging our partners like Lisa and Canvas Me. They have help directly. So work whatever it takes to get to us.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Lisa, where can we find and connect with you?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram is Lisa Van Texture, and it's VANN. And then also Van Studio, van.studio. And then Facebook is just my name, Lisa Van. And then my website is lisavantexture.com.
Awesome. And as always, you can reach out to thegreenbeautycommunity.com, and in any of the forums, you can mention any of our esteemed guests today, and we can get you in touch with them if you can't find their contact information as well. Definitely make sure to use code GBC10 if you're signing up. You will get a free lifetime membership to our webinars, Green Beauty forums, conversation boards, our amazing community guidebook in partnership with Pivot Point. And then you can find me at Metro Mikey on all platforms. And I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you need to order some Insight Professional, you can use the link in my Instagram bio or just message me because I am an Insight affiliate and I love supporting their company. And it's just a great model for the future. So now I'm going to keep going around the founders of the Green Beauty community. Hannah, where can we find you?
Sorry. You can find me at Salonvironment across all my socials. Easiest way to spell that is Salon Environment without the E in the middle. Mikey took that from me at the extra E. But yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or of course on the GBC forum.
Awesome. Thanks, Hannah. Jacqueline, where can we find you and your podcast?
Yes, you can find me on Clean Beauty Biz Coach on all platforms. Instagram is where I stay most of the time. And then on any streaming platform, you can find the, the Salon Owners Holistic Blueprint podcast. On YouTube is where I like to stay most of the time. So you can find me anywhere there. Thank you.
Awesome. That podcast name always trips me up, so I wrote it down. So I was going to be there for you if you couldn't get it.
I was waiting too. I was coming.
I love it. Awesome. Thanks. And last but certainly not least, Daniel, where can we find you?
You can find the Green Beauty community on Instagram under Green Beauty Coalition. Someone's sitting on Green Beauty community and they're not using it. You can find us on our website as well, greenbeautycommunity.com. You can find us on TikTok now. We're not dancing, but we do have a lot of good informational videos. Where else? I mean, I think we're on Pinterest. We're everywhere. Just Green Beauty Community. Google us. You'll find us. We appreciate your time and everyone listening. Thank you to our special guests for coming out. Remember, when you do have a chance to download our guidebook, we try to pack it with all the sustainable salon information that you could ever need in order to help you on your sustainable journey. And that's it for me. You cannot find us on X, and that is for a good reason. But thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh no, we lost Mikey.
We lost our host.
The host with the most.
Thank you. Thank you also, Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you guys. Thank you to our fellow co-founders for. Oh,
There
he's
he
back.
It was my turn. I waited right till the end of my technical difficulty. I was gonna say, our mission today and every day is to make the world a better place by innovative yet sustainable technology, and we will see you at our next Green Beauty Community webinar. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a lovely evening, or day, or night, or whenever. Bye.
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 Thank you.